bad. I know why. Ain't running around. I gotta sing loud. I gotta try to sing loud so that the copyright don't get me. The only problem is when I sing along with the track, I got that perfect pitch, so sometimes I even sound. Have you ever seen somebody, do you know somebody that looks like somebody and you say, bro, you look even more like that dude than that dude looks? Like I used to know a dude that looked like Russell Crowe when I was in high school, and he looked more like Russell Crowe than Russell Crowe does. So I feel like I'm kind of afraid to even sing the song because YouTube's going to think that I'm more of the song than the song itself is. But I refuse to turn down the music because, I better turn it down. I don't want to have any problems. Let me see. Let me make sure I have everything correct back here. Thank you for being here, ATFers, After the Factors. You set the tone. You set the pace for this community. Because look, there are hardcores, there are dedicated people in the live real-time chat for sure. I mean, absolutely. You see the names in there. You're seeing Hall of Famers in there. You're seeing OGs. You know how they say your favorite comic? You're seeing the OGs of the OGs in there. But there's also a whole bunch of casuals in there, a whole bunch of hate watchers in there. People that just like to show up because something's in real time, because something's live. And they ain't going to watch after that fact. They ain't got time for that. At least they've convinced themselves of that fact. But there's just certain types of people that will only watch when it's live. But the after the factors, they're built different, bro. They're built entirely different. And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it's from birth. I don't know if it's something that you have self-inflicted. I don't know if it's from that time, that building of the character and the perseverance. I don't know if it's something that you've put that work in for. But I appreciate it. I admire it. And I thank you for being here. All right, let's save these changes. Oh, I keep forgetting to put the thingamabob. I almost said thingamajigger, but I felt like some people would take it the wrong way. When I was a little kid, they used to say thingamabob, thingamajigger, but I just feel like, I got no hateful intentions when I say that word, but I just feel like people look for any reason to be upset, bro. And I know it would be a white dude. And I don't have anything against white dudes. It's very unbecoming, this white hate, when people act like, oh, white people, blah, blah, that's so stupid. But, if you had to take a guess who's the one that's going to get mad on behalf of the black person, it's probably not the Chinese dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Chinese people like black people, do they? Unless it's Israel Adesanya. I'm not sure. I think that's why he was so polarizing over there. Because they're like, this is our guy, right? He's the... And then everyone else, we still feel the same, but this one dude? Okay, I could put up with this one dude. I don't know. That's kind of the vibe that I've gotten. All right, I'm slowing down a little bit here. I hit a little bit of a hiccup. Here we go. I think I gotta save this again now, and then that is silent. That's perfect. Silent but dangerous. La la, I love you. I love that trumpet roll on that song. Do you guys know that song? Tra la la la. It's so amazing. Or is that like a French horn? I'm not sure. Tra la la, I love you. It's so beautiful, man. All right, so let's go to public. And let's put this out for the casuals, right? Again, no offense to the actual homies and the realist in there. All right, let's put this on live chat. Let's pop out the chat so that I could see, because I am blind. I'm actually blind, Tomas Aspinall. Okay, I'm actually blind. I remember to this day. I remember being in the 5th grade. I was in 5th grade when I found out that I needed glasses. I remember I had this teacher. Her name was Mrs. Schneider, and I remember that there was something like we were in class. We were in class, and I either wasn't doing the assignment, like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. Like, she wrote something on the board, something was on the board, and then we were all supposed to do our thing, the cause and effect of being in the classroom. She writes blah, 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 and then we're supposed to do something. And if I remember correctly, I think I was just like, and she's like, what you doing? And I think I'm probably kind of making some of this up in my beanie as I go, but I think it was something along the lines of like, oh, I can't see, so I'm probably gonna have to copy it off of somebody, or I was thinking about walking up there, and she's like, what do you mean you can't see? And I remember I had it like totally logically concluded in my head. I was like, well, yeah, I'm like 3 rows back. I'm too far. Like, in my head, I was like, come on, lady. Like, I'm too far. I'm like in the 3rd row. And she's like, you should be able to see that from there. And I was like, please. I've been roaming this earth for approximately 10 years, lady. I would know if I should be able to see from this far away. And she's like, bro, I think you need glasses. And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because, when you grow up in that time and place, you watch TV, you watch movies. There were like a certain kind of kids that had glasses. I don't want to be like that kid from My Girl. I don't want to be like that one dude, Waldo, from the Little Rascals. Steve Urkel. Like, I mean, there was something pumped into the culture. I didn't want to be that dude. And to me, that was like hate speech. She's telling me I need glasses. I'm like, no, I don't. And my homie was next to me. He wore glasses. He's like, what's wrong with that? I was like, nothing. And they look fine on you. You have the face for it. But I was devastated. I was like, bro, I'm gonna have to start wearing suspenders. What the? I'm gonna have to stop being cool. I'm gonna have to put the tape on. I'm gonna have to look like one of the MMA nerds. I was devastated. And I remember like the first day I wore them, we were playing. We went to play, it wasn't baseball. It wasn't quite baseball. They were having us play mush ball or something like that. And I remember they fell off my face and I stepped on them. I was running to, I believe I was running home. They fell off my face and they flew. They like had wings or something. They flew forward. So I'm running, they fall, and then I step on them. And then I remember my mom was like, was it really an accident? Or is it because you didn't want to wear glasses? And I was like, why the heck did I start talking about glasses? I think I was trying to talk to Tomas Aspinall about how I'm really blind. What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. What's up, Kaimon? Kaimon. Oh, you ain't. You could be real cool and casual, calm and collected, and even like nonchalant. Have you noticed how the kids hijacked nonchalant these days? They're like, hey, I clocked how nonchalant you are. 6'7". It's like, what the, bro? You sound like a walking brain rot. You sound like a meme. I tell these kids sometimes, like, stop it. You sound like a little brainwashed robot, man. Think for yourself. Be original. It's cool. Come on, you are nonchalant. You're casual. You're cool. You're calm. You're collected. Come on, did you get the fridge in your garage? Should I be happy for you yet? Hey, okay. How do people know? This is the second person, Christopher. What's up, Cheese Lightman? I'm glad to see you got the notification. Fly Rizzle Dizzle, what's up? Christopher M. Hudson, second person that mentioned casual. How do you guys know this? Because I was just talking to the ATFers. I was just talking before I laid the foundations of this stream. I was just talking to the ATFers from the future. I was just telling them that they're the realist of the real because they set the tone. And because I said, look, there are some definite OGs in the live streams. There's definitely some hardcores in there. But there are definitely some people that are straight up casual. They're hate watching. And they'll only show up if it's live. Because it's live. It's the adrenaline. It's the rush of a live stream. If it ain't live, they ain't going to watch it. I said, you guys are real for coming after the fact. And now people are using the term casual because I was just talking about casuals. How did you see that if that's not even visible yet? How is this possible? Jorge Tirado Chanclas up. Nice, clean, new white socks, fresh out the pack. Yo, Jim, do you remember Lee Murray? I do not remember Lee Murray. Oh, snap. Are you Lee Murray? Did I go to school with you? Lee Murray. Oh, Lee Murray is a fighter. He stole 53 million pounds. And I do not know this dude. Oh, snap. Why did you find him? Did he get arrested? What's up, Casual Degenerate? Lord Racer. Jane Caulfield, why post a video and then go live? Bad for the analytics. Jane, I have a Bane Caulfield. I was born. You know what? I was feeling self-conscious today because Bane embarrassed me yesterday because I was talking about having to turn off all my lights and how I had to go pee in the dark and stuff. I've never mopped so much in my life. We're trying to keep the PG&E bill down. And Bane Caulfield was like, you think you from the dark? I was born in the dark. And then today, I was going to talk about how cold it is. I have on right now, I have 4 t-shirts on. I mean, I got layers, bro. I got 4 t-shirts on. You can't tell because they're all black. But I got 4 t-shirts on and I got 2 rash guards on. I got my hoodie on and I got my gi on. It's cold in here. And you know why? Marilena bought me a heater at Costco and I told her I refused to use it. I said, I ain't an old lady. I ain't using a heater. Just get that out of my face. She came back with a 2-pack from Costco. And I was like, first of all, I don't need your leftovers because I knew she just wanted to get one for herself. And there's some trauma there. There was a couple years where she got me a gift that she got for free from work. And I have trauma from that. And I was like, don't even give me gifts anymore if you're going to give me lame gifts like that. Because I'm the best gift giver, for real. Serio. Like, in general, I'm the worst. But with Marilena, I'm the best. And I remember there was she had like won this thing at work. And she gave that to me one year. I was like, are you serious, bro? She was acting like it wasn't the biggest deal and that she thought it was funny because she did give me other stuff anyway, but I didn't appreciate it and I have trauma. And she came home the other day with a heater from Costco and then I found the box and apparently it was a 2-pack. And I was like, I don't need your leftover. Plus, I ain't an old lady. I ain't going to be walking. I'll take an AC all day. I'll take a fan. I'll take a cooler, a swamp cooler. But a heater, bro? Get that out of my face. Chale. I'll do some push-ups. I ain't rocking with the heater. But after today, I might bring the heater in. It's cold, bro. But I was embarrassed because I didn't want to talk about it because Jane's gonna be like, "You're cold. I was born in the cold." For Jane Caulfield, when it's like 30 degrees, she's busting out the tank top. She's going and doing yard work. So it's like I can't even. I'm embarrassed out here. Oh, but anyway, Jane, I kind of gave up on analytics. I as far as this channel, I have not felt this free in a long time, to be honest with you. I have not felt this free. As far as I'm confirmed, like in my head, if we're talking analytics, I'm like, cool. That's what Sit Down MMA is for. Cool. I'll be consistent on there. I'll do my thing on there. I'll try to grow it the right way. I won't run into any monetization problems. And this is for chilling. This is for talking about the news live right now, streaming, chill out sessions. And then when I feel like making a masterpiece, I'll do one of my 20-minute videos again, super edited. But it's like, I feel so free right now having the encouragement, the support, the homies on this channel, and the ability to do whatever I want on this channel because the analytics are so messed up anyway. And then, like, for real, I'm like excited. I'm like, I remember once upon a time I would upload a video to the main channel and it was like anxiety, like all the stress, like how many views is it gonna get? How many views? And I'm refreshing my phone like every 2 minutes. How many views did it get? What is it ranked out of the last 10? And now I'm excited more than anything on this channel. Like, I've only done it 2 days in a row now, but I'm doing it every weekday now. The thing that excites me the most lately is this new thing where I'm uploading a video to the membership every day. And it's like, because see, if I upload a video on publicly on this main channel, I'm totally out of control of the views. It could get 1 million views, it could get 2,500. I'm totally out of control. But if I say, you know what, it's my goal every weekday to just make a video for the members and show them my appreciation because they're showing up and they're supporting me and they're allowing me to not only keep doing this, but to do the other channel. Who cares? Who cares about public views on a public video? My goal is to just make sure I'm giving them my appreciation and what they deserve on the membership. And if I do that every day, I feel like I did what I set out to do. Like today, I just uploaded the Benain Muhammad video, and I already feel accomplished. I'm great because it's like that's what I was supposed to do today, and I already did it. My work here is done. So it's like it takes all the pressure off. And then I need to shoot a sit-down MMA video. I'm gonna start making those shorter. I need them to be as easy to make as possible. And then if and when they start to take off, I'll have the freedom to make them a little bit longer maybe. But even on this channel, when I first started off sitting down, breaking down, I remember when I was breaking down, I remember breaking down Daniel Comer and Volkan Ozdemir. And then Stipe Muchacho and Francis Ngannou won. And I would sit down and do a breakdown and they were 2-3 minute videos. And then I remember after a while, people started telling me, make longer videos. And I was like, really? I thought people would get bored. So then I started making them longer. And that's when my life spiraled. What's ARJR's in the house? Goku Super Saiyan 50. What's up? ARJR, I definitely ran late today. And I definitely caught you after work, unless you're doing overtime. Yup. Loyalty in this business. I thought GM was a man of integrity. I like how he isn't. What you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? I'm blind in one eye, yet I continue to be amazed when I discover I have bad eyesight. Wait, you're actually blind in one eye? Dang. That's why you like Tomas Aspinall. Bro, that's like reverse blindness. Does that work, right? Does that metaphor carry out? That's the homie goggles. Wait, you mean like the homie Goggles, or like that's the homie? His name is Goggles. Come on, Better Goods yogurt. I haven't gone to the store, bro. I haven't gone to the store yet. Better Goods, though. Okay, good. It is like my mayonnaise. I asked you that the other day, and I don't think I get on these tangents, and I never see the answers to all the questions I ever ask anybody. But that's good. Okay, I'll remember that then, because it's just like my mayonnaise. Blair Davis. Did I just walk into a personal attack on being a blind? No, you didn't. Hey, Blair, I'm blind. I remember, I mean, it happens to this day, and I don't even care. I don't care anymore. I remember the last time I had a vision thing. I sat there and they covered my eye and they're like, "What does that say?" And I'm like, 7E5 exclamation mark hashtag. Is that a dinosaur? And they're I'm not even embarrassed. Like sometimes Marilena will get embarrassed when I just say what's on my mind. And I tell her, I'm getting too old. I don't care. I'm not trying to impress anybody. And if I see a dinosaur on the thing, I'm going to say it's a dinosaur. And I remember this very last time, because I remember when I was a little kid, I would try. Like, let's say I was looking at one of the letters and it looked like a bicycle. I would just say, S? But now I'll be like, I'm pretty sure that's a Schwinn. And the lady was just like, she's just laughing. I'm like, all right, cool. I got to laugh. I like to make people laugh. But I wasn't lying. I thought I saw a dinosaur. But I'm blind too. I'm blind too, Blair. But what I don't like, Blair Davis, what I don't like is people like Tomas Aspinall appropriating our blind culture. That's what I don't like. And that's why I think it's reverse blindness that Jane Caulfield is exercising for Tomas Aspinall when she should be holding his chanclas to the fire and condemning him for the blindness appropriation. I had a teacher make me talk to the police because I had my hand in my hair with the middle finger up, not intentionally, and she thought I was flipping her off. I was like 7. Make me talk to the police because I had my hand in my hair with. I'm trying to figure out like. No, I could see that. You know what I do a lot actually, when I'm like changing the station on the radio or whatever. No. Hey, you're the best. Come on, you're the best, bro. So look, you guys know how I've been having some internet problems the last few days, even though I'm clearly not having internet problems because I go and check my speed and go into all these different websites you guys are telling me. And every single one said I had they said that I had better internet speed than Elon Musk. Every single speed thing I went on said it was fantastic. It was perfect. But then it keeps glitching. It keeps spazzing out. And right now, Kaimon was like, okay, so yesterday I went to Best Buy. And the day before I went to Best Buy and I got an Ethernet cable so that I could put it into my extender that's getting Wi-Fi from my router. I plugged it into my extender to then realize that the Ethernet cable does not plug in to this computer. Because people that make computers are idiots now and they think that everything needs to be as user-friendly as possible. So then I realized after doing some research, I needed an adapter so that I could put the Ethernet into the adapter and put it in here. So then I went to Best Buy again yesterday and I barely plugged it in today. And I thought everything is going to be great now. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to have the smoothest streams that I've ever had. It's going to be like someone took a Nair. Someone took some Nair to my stream. It's going to be so smooth. And then I see a message right now from Kaimon. He slapped down $5 reenies in the PayPal. He said, "Hey, I said your audio was skipping in the chat, but it's fine now. You're not there yet, and I don't want you to stress when you get that message." Hey, that's so cool of you to do, bro. Because when I read the first part of this message, I was already getting anxiety. It's so kind of you to do that, to give me the heads up. And he says, "This is for the blueberries." Thank you, bro. Thank you. My kids and stuff, like people will always tell me when I'll change like the radio or do something, I tend to use the middle finger. And they're always like, "Hey, why are you always using your middle finger?" I'm like, I don't know, bro. So I could see you doing that with the middle finger. It is pretty crazy though. it is pretty crazy. It was probably one of those campus cops, maybe at least. Like if she straight up called 911 on you for holding up the middle finger, that's crazy, bro. Tom haters better hope Gane wins the rematch. But see, here's the thing, Northwest. I don't even like Gane. I think Gane is a punk. I think he's a cheater. I think he's dirty. That's what I always say. I don't like Aspinall. I don't like Gane. I don't like Jones. I do like Waldo. And I like what I'm seeing. Tomas Aspinall likes to pretend that he doesn't see it, but he sees it. But I don't even care about Gane. See, that's the thing. If Aspinall came back and knocked out Gane, then I'd be like, okay. Now, was Gane winning the first fight? Uh-huh. And again, if you watch the video that I released, like, I don't know how many weeks ago now, of the breakdown of Aspinall's eye, because I ask people, because look, I completely understand if people are going to be ignorant enough to disagree with me. I understand that. But then I ask them, who do you agree with? I mean, you tell me, Dan Thomas, Ariel Hawini, Charles Son, and Daniel Comet, Joe Rogan, Laura Stanko, John Anik, Fitzgerald, Michael Chesa. Like, if you just name every person you could possibly think of, Dominic Cruz, everybody, Megan Olive, if you just name everyone and be like, yeah, I don't agree with any single one of them either. Everyone on earth is unanimously wrong and I'm the only right one. Now it's like, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't do anything with you. Because I put in the video, I said, who do you agree with then? Who do you respect? Because people say, well, people that never even fought, people that don't know, people. Okay, because in my video, I point out like all the analysts, both active and retired, all the fighters, both active and retired, and everybody says decisively, definitively, unanimously, in unison, Gane was winning that fight. So yeah, if Aspinall comes back and beats Gane, cool. A dude that I don't like beat another dude that I don't like. But Gane was winning that first fight. And I'm going to get to my topic. I'm going to get to my title in a little bit about what may have went down in the fight. And I have not heard a single other person talk about this. I believe I'm breaking some potential news right here. I have not heard a single other person talk about this. Oh no. Cheetah print Harry Potter glasses, I lost them. And at first, when I kind of skimmed it, I thought you liked the Harry Potter glasses and you lost them. And I was about to feel bad for you, but that's hilarious, bro. Waffle bodice. Hey, well, you got a pretty good poke, bro. I got my fridge. It's loaded with mad meats and drinks, man. Oh, man. I was talking about it the other day because Marilena was talking about unplugging ours. Marilena was talking about taking our garage refrigerator off of the life support because she says that it's jacking up our PG&E. I was like, Charlie, I was about to get some more Diet Dr. Peppers. And they get all, like, if I forget to put them in the fridge, so they just stay in the pantry. And then I don't like to put, I drink straight out the can. When you try to pour a can into a glass and then you put ice, it totally flattens it. Now, there's this trick. If you drink it with a straw, and you get it straight from the bottom where the ice ain't really melting yet, then maybe it's somewhat salvageable. But you gotta drink it cold straight out the can, man. And I always forget to put them in the fridge. So it's nice having it in the garage that you could just stack them with all my cans. But I'm happy for you, bro. You're living that life. You're coming up in the world. I agree, Sun Tzu. I'm English, but I find the Tom trolling hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a lot of people in Ireland don't like Conor McGregor. Some people just get way too nationalistic about it. You know, they get blind. No pun intended. Nicola. Oh, You are a sight for sorbinis. Nicola Maxwell. I got a notification, GM. I've just come out of physio. Watched your videos on new channel today. So you found Sit Down MMA? That's where it's at, Nicola. We're still going to be streaming over here. I stream over here every day now. So look, it hasn't been perfect yet. It has not been perfect yet. But every single day, you could find me streaming, weekday for sure. You could find me streaming right here between 12 p.m. PSD and like 4 p.m. PSD. I might come on at 12:30. I might come on at 1. I might come on at 1:32. But it'll be somewhere between noon and 4 p.m. every day. Weekdays, most likely. But we stream over here and we do the algorithm stuff over there. Thank you. You calling me a hate watcher? I hate out of love. I love that. I could respect that. It's so good to see you, Nicola. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you got the ears with the ears wide open. Wow, we're super far behind. Let me catch up. It's 20 degrees outside with 8 inches of snow here. Stop it. From ARJR. 20 degrees outside. See, that's embarrassing to me. I don't know what happened to me. I used to be one of those kids that when it was cold, I would go out in my shorts and I'd be like, this feels good. And then even when it didn't feel good, I would like to pretend that it did because you know how it makes you feel cool. But, man, I don't know what's happened to me lately. I love the cold. You don't want to see me in the sun, though. I die in direct sunlight. Yeah, for real. I feel like I'd rather have it cold than hot. I can't deal with any type of weather anymore. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I absolutely hate the heat. I've been wanting to leave California for the longest, and the heat is one of the main reasons. I can't stand it. If I'm exercising, if I'm working out, I want to burn calories. I want to sweat like crazy. But if I'm just like living my life and I'm just like walking down the street, I don't want to be hot. I don't want to feel gross. I hate the heat. The only 6'7" I know is about Volcom. I'm too lazy to do the math to figure out the temperature for you people in the US. So it all sounds hot. Jessica Maldonado. Hey, all my love to Miami. Welcome from Miami. Always good to see you in the house. Over here laughing at us when we're talking about the cold. You're over there sweating bullets. Much love. Did you just say -5 Fahrenheit? That's not even, you would be dead. That's not even possible. -5 Fahrenheit and it's beautiful outside. That's impossible. You'd be like Jack Nicholson on The Shining right now. That's impossible. Energetic Drafts, member for 46 months. Glad you're back in action, Grandmaster. You got a great supportive community. Go take your throne, homie, with the golden chanclas. Thank you, bro. Hey, thank you for the dedication. That's a long time. Bro. Thank you. Your low taper's looking clean, bro. Thank you. I will keep doing my best, and I'm evolving, and I hope I'm improving. Because in evolvement, I don't think is always an improvement necessarily. But thank you, bro. Ooh, ooh. Oh my gosh. Ice first, then pour cold can. Well, see, here's my problem. Because I don't use ice. If I have a soda in the fridge that is as cold as it's gonna get, let's say it's been in there for like 2 days. Let's say I've had a handful in there for like a week, and it's as cold as, oh bro, that crisp, that's the best. I would never put ice in a perfectly cold drink. Like even like some of you might think this is weird. If I have either a can or a 2 liter that's been in the fridge for like a few days, like you know how once it gets to a certain level of cold, it's not gonna get any colder. Like whatever you have the fridge set to. If I have a drink that's that cold, get that ice out of my face because it's already cold. And I don't want the ice getting in the way. I don't want it diluting the carbonation or the flavor. So I won't even touch the ice. But my problem is when I have a lukewarm, like let's say I barely brought the cans home from Walmart. They haven't touched the fridge yet. Then I'm like, dang it, I really want one. I better get some ice. Ice first, then pour cold can. Straw a must for the fizzies. I came to the same conclusion a week ago, man. A culture. I was always having next drink in the garage. I'm toasty to you, man. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I remember when I showed my kids the trick with the straw. They were like, "It tastes good." I'm like, "I'm telling you, you gotta." When you just sip it off the top, ooh, it tastes like you're drinking like a RC cola. You know how like when you drink a RC cola straight from the Dollar Tree, like as soon as you bring it home and you crack it open, somehow it already tastes flat. It's so weird how that works. So let me now that I've reached the end of the chat, ironically, some pyromania. Ironically, I've reached the end of the chat. I'm all caught up. So now I'm gonna talk about my topic. That's what's up. I thought Sit Down MMA was another one of your fans. I'm going to drop that. No, that's me, bro. That's me. I'm trying to make it take off. Originally, I was not going to tell anybody about it. I wasn't going to post about it on here. I wanted it to grow like the most organically. But then I was like, oh, that might be stupid. Another trick is a wet paper towel. Wrap the warm can with the towel and put it in the freezer. Ooh, 5 minutes and you're good. Oh, snap. You might have just changed my life right now, bro. I'm about to die from carbonation poisoning. I'm gonna drink so many sodas if that trick works. Just to test it. So look, I'm gonna say something right now about Tomas Aspinall. I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. Or what's the opposite of an advocate? So there's adversary, there's advocate, provocate? What's the opposite? Let me see. Let's look at what is the antonym for adversary? It just says opposite. What? How do you not know what I'm asking? Supporter, ally. Okay. Adversary, ally. I think those are the, you know how there's mom, dad, mother, father, but like mom and father aren't right. It's mom, dad, mother, father, ma, pa. You know how they go like that? I think ally is the right pair for adversary, actually, now that I hear it. And I feel stupid that I didn't remember that. So I thank you, Energetic Draft. I'm gonna either play devil's advocate and or devil's ally here, depending on what side you find yourself on. So I've been watching I'm very jealous for a while. I'm very jealous. I had some disgusting cardboard tasting cereal right now that Marilena got that's supposed to be a healthy tasting cereal, when everybody knows that cereal is not supposed to be healthy. Cereal is supposed to be Captain Crunch. Cereal is supposed to be Fruity Pebbles. That's supposed to be healthy. So, well, I'm like Shakespeare. I like to coin stuff. So I've been watching a lot of Tomas Aspinall videos, much to my chagrin. But I gotta know what's going on. I gotta do my diligence. And Oh, you were looking for the antonym for advocate, but you asked for the antonym for adversary instead. That's right. What an idiot. Anyway, well, I'm happy with Ally. Magic Spoon. That's right. Yeah. What's up, Rob's neighbor? Okay, so here, I'm not saying that I believe this right now, but I think I do. I think I believe this. And this doesn't change. Ooh. It does, actually. It does. Let me throw something out here right now. And I think some people will be very upset to hear this. They will not like it. They will push back. And I think others will be presently surprised to hear this. I think this route will give some people the justification to feel the way that they do. Because there's a lot of people right now that don't like Tomas Aspinall, but that are seeing a lot of the videos that he's putting out, and they're like, well, what could I say against this? He's in there with this doctor. I mean, yes, did it take him 2 months to find this doctor that would agree to say these things? Did it take him 2 entire months making the rounds in all of the UK to finally find someone that would go along with the script? Yeah, but that's neither here either. Long story short, the 10-7 MMA, my visibility is destroyed on this channel, and I wanted to start all over, learning from my mistakes and falling in love with the algorithm. And it's kind of an experiment, but I'm having fun doing it. So I've watched all these different videos that have been coming out, and people actually coming out like that dude that's supposedly an eye doctor. I don't know. It looked like a set to me, if I'm gonna be honest. What's up, Rashad? But it's being said now by external sources, by third-party sources, by dudes wearing scrubs, that Aspinall's having issues with his eyes. So then it's like, okay. With everything that we've seen and the very odd nature of it, the shenanigans, the acting it up, the milking of, what's up, Grey Boppolini? How can we merge this with the fact that some dudes seem to be saying that Aspinall can't see? How did they say it? How can we reconcile this? Well, you know how there was all this talk at the beginning. Why is this dude holding on to the eye that didn't get poked the worst? Why is he doing it? Even the commentators immediately after the fact, I think it was Brendan Fitzgerald. I think he's no, he wasn't the first one. Laura Stanko, Daniel Comet, Joe Rogan, they were all calling. No, was it them three? Or was it Anik? They were calling it out, saying that's not the eye. This one was more. This one was worse. Okay. They did the same thing with Chesa, Sonnen, and Fitzgerald. Like, nobody was shying away from saying, hey, it's the wrong eye, bro. Let's be honest, in the realm of world's greatest fighters, eye poke shouldn't be enough to stop the champion. Been watching a lot of Dragon Ball lately, and those boys go way harder. I mean, exactly. It doesn't matter. I think too many people are focusing on the fact illegal. Bro, other fighters would have done it. And look, to Aspinall's credit, hey, for real, D-man, that's what I've been saying. I read the report, and it's talking about that brown eye, the brown eye syndrome. So, I mean, I don't know why he would release that. It's not making him look any better. The last few weeks of content, hey, you're the best, Grey Boppolini. That's a lot of content right there, bro. That's a lot of content right there. Thank you. Look, so I was actually just about to address that. Let me say the only nice thing I've ever said about Tomas Aspinall, and I refuse to say another one. So this is the only nice thing I'm going to say about him. Tomas Aspinall might be too logical to be a fighter. Somebody like Tomas Aspinall might be too smart to be a fighter. And I was just talking about this in a stream yesterday. Thank you, bro. That's a lot of dedication. I appreciate that. It would be so easy to be like, so thank you. It definitely helps. It means a lot. I was talking about it yesterday that a lot of people throw around the word bravery, courage, and all it really means is stupid. Because sometimes people convince themselves to do things that are stupid and they call it brave or courageous. And would probably every other fighter have continued? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it's the smart thing to do. Maybe it's because they're kind of stupid. And I heard, was it Dominic Cruz? No, I can't remember who it was. I was listening to something recently, though, I think it was by an ex-champion. And they were talking about how if you take like the most athletic dudes like in the NFL and you had trained them in MMA instead of going the NFL route, like let's say they were right at the gates of going down MMA or football, and they would have went the MMA route with their physicality, with their versatility, with their athleticism, they would be better than the people in the UFC today, because the UFC people go that route because that's what they have. If a UFC, I mean, how many stories have we heard of? I mean, there's much more that you don't hear about. And how many stories have we heard of about UFC fighters who wanted to go to the NFL or the NBA or something like that, but had to settle for MMA? Look at the difference in the money. Who in the world is going to want to live a life torturing themselves, having to suffer and eat certain things, lose weight all the time, miss out on all these different types of satisfying foods and events and holidays and fight every day? You're not only getting beat up on live national pay-per-view, you're getting beat up in the gym every day. You're fighting, you're injured, you're broken. For pennies. There's dudes that are multi-millionaires in the NFL and the NBA riding the bench, bro. They're just keeping that bench clean. So there's something to be said about this. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect these fighters that I basically make my living from, that I basically pay my bills from, talking about them. I'm not just trying to disrespect them, but I heard a champion say this the other day, that people end up fighting because they didn't really have a lot of other options. So you end up having individuals there that might not make the best decisions, that might make the desperate decisions. Just like Tony Ferguson, everybody knew it was a terrible, horrible idea for him to take that fight with Gaethje, and that he shouldn't have done it. And he ended up saying, I needed the money. I have no other options. What the heck is Tony Ferguson going to do at this point in his life? Even at that point in his life, he had to take that fight. So when we say, other fighters would have kept doing it, they would have done it, yeah, they probably would have, but it probably would have been stupid though. Would we have respected them? Yes, but it would have been stupid. Oh my gosh, I'm a hypocrite. You want to know the realization that I just had right now? And I hope you guys appreciate this. I hope that you admire and are in utter awe of my growth right now. Because I tell you this all the time. I am not, despite what you may believe, I am not infallible. And when people criticize, man, I don't even want to say this. I feel like I'm going to throw up right now. When people criticize Tomas Aspinall for quitting that fight, it's very similar to when people criticize me for not making the same kind of videos that I used to make, even though it was the stupidest, terrible decision for me to do, because I would devote my entire days to making those for no return whatsoever, and all it did was wreak havoc on my household. It was a terrible business decision, terrible financial decision, Didn't make any sense. All it ever did was backfire and give me terrible results. So I tell people every time they ask, how come you don't make those videos every week? How come you don't make those videos? How come you don't make the breakdowns? Because they ruined my life. They made me go broke. They made me lose my house. They ruin relationships. They make you angry. They make you anxious and have anxiety. They make you depressed. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. It makes no sense. So I think I'm gonna do the smart thing now, and I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna realign. I'm gonna recalibrate. So Tomas Aspinall, he did what he thought was the smart thing. He didn't do the fighter thing. He didn't do the warrior thing. He didn't do the caveman, brute. He didn't do that thing. He was not the gladiator. He did the business thing. He did the I'm an accountant thing. He did the what's the smart thing, which people don't like to see. I heard a joke the other day on Kill Tony. There was a dude, and he's like, I'm not going to do it justice. I'm not going to say it the way he did. I can't remember. But he said something along the lines of, I don't like abortion, and I don't support it unless it's my baby. And I was like, bro. And then he's like, every man knows what I'm talking about. And it's like, yeah. I feel like that's how fans could be with fighters. Because in your own life, you would do the smart thing. You would do the responsible thing. You would do the profession. You would do whatever's best for you and your household and your income. But in a heartbeat, we'll criticize somebody else when they don't do it. Now, all of that said, I still don't like Tomas Aspinall, and I still think that he's a quitter. But let me say something, because I still haven't even said my point. I still haven't gotten to my point yet. ARJR721 continues with the blesters. More blesters in the chat today. Oh, hey, it's Alana Love. I'm not sure if you're here in the chat right now, Alana Love. Sometimes people get memberships when they're not even here, but it's always good to see you here. I'm glad that you were a recipient. Thank you, ARJR721. Hey, ARJR, right as you do that too, the Donnie Albert song came on, My Confession of Love, where he's telling his girlfriend if she goes to hell that he's gonna follow her there. That's funny. Thank you, ARJR. Thank you for doing it. Hey, this is the best time. This is the peak. We're peaking right now. And I'm not afraid to peak, because what people always get mixed up when it comes to peaking, they immediately they envision this. So there's immediately this. There's immediately the decline. But I'm going to be peaking. I'm going to be peaking for the longest, bro. People don't understand that my peak era is going to be my longest era. So we're going to be peaking. We're going to be peaking for quite a while. Thank you, ARJR. So let me finally get to my point. And let me say something very clearly. Let me try to make this, because sometimes I get a little too verbose and my point could get lost. Let me break it down. I haven't said that in a while. I believe Tom Aspinall quit, right? And in a sense, that's Jason Herzog's fault, because Jason Herzog should have took it upon himself to DQ that dude. You can't. That's like a cop telling the dude behind the wheel, "Hey, do you want to get a ticket, or do you want to just leave, or I want to leave this on your conscience. What do you think?" It's like, what? No, do your job, bro. Do your job. You got to make a decision here. Jason Herzog should have called the DQ. And I have no problem saying that. That doesn't make me a Tomas Aspinall fan. I don't like Aspinall. I don't like Gane. Gane's a dirty cheater. Herzog should have called a DQ, especially because that wasn't the first one that Gane did. But by the way, I want to kill that narrative that Gane was just doing this the whole fight, trying to poke his eyes out, and that Tomas Aspinall is innocent. Tomas Aspinall, and I remember, and it's probably stupid, I remember when I was making my Tomas Aspinall video toward the end, I was kind of over it, because I was working on it for so long, and it was already like 2 weeks past the event. It felt like it was taking forever to come out. There's moments in the fight where you could clearly see Aspinall like this, Like if he's trying to poke out Gane's eyes, like he looks like Wolverine. Aspinall straight up with his fingers out. It's crazy. So, I mean, people do it. Everybody does it. You heard Mighty Mouse talking about it. It's not just like an anecdote. You could freeze frame like every fighter doing that with their... Bruce Lee used to do that. You know, they all stick their fingers out. That's part of it. So that whole narrative just needs to stop. Or he was trying to do it from the start. Well, so were you, bro. So one washes the other one out. So I think he quit. Should Jason Herzog have made the call and not put it on Aspinall? Sure. But that's the way it went down. Aspinall quit. Now, I'm just trying to hit all the bullet points here. Would most other fighters have kept going? Yes. Is that the smart thing? No, probably not. It probably was the smart thing for Aspinall to stop. But it's definitely not the decision that people are going to respect. It's not the one that they're going to be entertained by. It's not the one that's going to get him any fans. It's going to get them pity from the people that, I mean, Tomas Aspinall, like there's always going to be those fans where if Tomas Aspinall goes on a killing spree, he just goes to the apex and just goes on a killing spree. By the way, this is not an incite. I'm not inciting it. But let's say he goes and just goes on a killing spree. There's those fans that are going to be like, well, man, you know, if Jason Herzog just would have called the DQ, Aspinall wouldn't have done this, man. You know what? I'm going to go visit him in prison. I'm going to go visit him. I'm going to bring him my eye patch. There's always going to be those fans. But for the most part, people are losing respect for him. But now he's having people come out with their scrubs on, validating his claims. It took him a couple months to travel all over the continent to find somebody that would agree to be on camera because they wanted to promote their practice. But he found him. And again, did it sort of look like a set? Did it kind of look like a prop house? A little bit, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I don't know for sure. But here is something that I'm finally going to say 58 minutes into the stream that I have not heard a single other channel talk about. And if you have, please don't tell me because I want to feel good about this. We know that Gane was teeing off like Tiger Woods style. Gane was teeing off like he was like if he took Aspinall on a date to Top Golf. Gane was teeing off on Aspinall. And and before you tell me, no, he wasn't. Okay, Aspinall said in his video that he was. It's so weird, though. It was so weird how Aspinall just has his own version of the events because then he's like, yeah, and I was getting mine in too. Bro. Anyway, Gane was teeing off on him. And he bloodied him up. And I guess Aspinall thinks it's a flex. It's brag worthy. Again, in his video, he's like, oh, they're talking about my bloody nose. Man, you could look at me sideways and my nose will go bloody. Okay, well... Congratulations. He bloodied your nose. There was something in the report or the news that came out about a orbital. Aspinall's orbital. And when I heard orbital, I had to take a moment and my wheels started spinning. Now, there was a lot of different things going on in that report. When they mentioned the brown eye syndrome, then I was like, wait a minute, maybe that's because he was sniffing up Jones' booty for the last couple of years and something went side. But I read orbital. Wait a minute. He got orbital fracture, broken orb from an eye poke. Hold up, wait a minute. And then I start combining that with the fact that he was covering the wrong eye. So he's favoring his right eye when everyone in the world is like, why isn't he favoring the left eye? This makes no sense. But whatever. People come out with, oh, well, sometimes you don't understand. It's just this little scratch that actually hurts more. It's the little scratch. Don't you understand? It's the little baby scratch that actually hurts more than if Gane would have stuck his whole elbow through the other eye. See, you would think it hurts more when you go elbow deep into somebody's eye, but no, sir. No, sorry, Bob. It's a little scratch. That's what did him in. So he was grabbing the wrong eye. And now I'm reading about a broken orbital. And I go, huh. He was favoring the wrong eye. He has a broken orbital. Gane was teeing off on his dome to the point where he was all bloodied up. Huh. I wonder if just like happened to Alexander Volkanovski when he was fighting Lopez the first time, and he said that he got rocked so hard in the dome that he lost vision. I wonder if it's like Khalil Roundtree Jr. when he was fighting Alex Pereira and he got so rocked in the dome that he said he lost his vision, and then he was seeing three of them and he had to hit the one in the middle. I wonder if it was like when Bisping fought that one Brazilian dude that I can't remember his name right now, and he got kicked in the head and he lost his vision. Oh, I bet that Cyril Gane broke Aspinall's orbital when he was teeing off on him. His eyesight goes sideways. And then when Aspinall got poked in the eye, it was a blessing in the skies. Dude was in the fight with the broken orbital. And just so you know, that's a perfect excuse for you Aspinall fans. That's perfect justification why your dude was getting teed off on, why he was losing the first round. Now you can feel better. I'm giving you ammunition here. That's why his orbital was off. That's why he looked like this was his first fight ever. That's why he looked off balance. That's why he looked like he didn't know where he was. That's why he looked like he was doing this fight on the Xbox and his batteries were dying. That's why he looked so awkward. His orbital, he couldn't see because Gane just kept right there. Same side he was bleeding. Gane kept attacking that same side. And the moment the poke came in, Aspinall went, whoo, hallelujah, hallelujah. Right away. Oh, perfect timing. Now, I'm no lawyer. I wasn't there. I can't read their minds. But the moment I saw broken orbital, fractured, whatever, I don't know. I saw orbital. The moment that an orbital got involved, it made complete sense why he was grabbing the wrong eye. It was such a blessing for that fool. It was such a blessure from Cyril Gane that he put both of those fingers in there. That way Aspinall could hold this one, knowing if this goes to a doctor and they look at it, they're going to see something's wrong here because I think my orbital's broken. And then people are going to go, oh, it makes sense. We were foolish. We were too hard on him. We were making fun of him that he was using the wrong finger and that it didn't make sense. He was on the wrong side and he had a broken orbital. We're monsters. Well, or maybe he pulled the switcheroo on you. That dude was fighting with a broken orbital, looked awkward, was getting outclassed because of it. He was fighting with one eye. And look, I'm coming to you like I stand corrected. Now, of course, I could have some fun with it. The fact this dude's faking and whatnot until he finally decides to come out and say something. And look, I'm always open to learning. I'm always open to growing. And that's why you could come here knowing full well that you're going to get the MMA truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because I will adjust with the truth. I'm not going to be stubborn. I'm not going to hold on to my preconceived notions. I'm going to let you know what my discoveries are. And it seems, based on the information that Tomas Aspinall has freely given, that he had a broken a compromised, at least a compromised orbital. And the moment that fool got bowling balled, he said, this is my chance. Knowing that a doctor would validate that something was off in there when it was just a good old-fashioned orbital issue. I'm telling you, bro. He has the brown eye syndrome, so respect to Tom. Sorry I missed the first 58 minutes, but hey, that's not here. Zach of all trades. Zach of all trades. Trademark. Zach of all trademarks. The homie. The homie. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. It's all right. We basically waited. I don't know if you heard me say this. We basically just streamed and chilled the first 58 minutes anyway till I finally started talking about the title. What the heck? Okay, let me I talked too long. Let me catch up. Suddenly you're a doctor now. No, a magic shark. This is what Aspinall so kindly did. What he so kindly chose to do was say, hey, everybody, here is everything I want you to know. Because this whole situation has hurt my feelings. It's made me very insecure. Here's all this information. Take all this information here. I'm going to feed it down your throats. I'm going to send it to Ariel Hawini. I'm going to pay Ariel Hawini a few stacks so he could put this on his channel. Bro, Tomas Aspinall gave exclusive footage to Ariel Hawani. He's basically paying for marketing. It's like he's trying to release a movie. He's basically releasing trailers on other people's channels. That's how hard he's trying to do damage control right now. He's literally asking other outlets to release his doc. Isn't this against HIPAA? What if this is all a long con so that he could sue Ariel Hawini for breaking HIPAA laws? What if that's what Aspinall's planning right now? That he's not going to have any more fights. He's out. He's retired. No more title fights. No more money. Pay-per-view's gone. No more points. And now he's going to have to sue Ariel Hawini for HIPAA laws to get this money. But Magic Shark, my point is, when you say, I'm a doctor, no. What Aspinall's doing, he wants to go to a doctor and say, here, everybody, here. So we're going off the doctor's information, right? We're going off the doctor's information. Now, what you would have to be to come to that conclusion is not a doctor. You'd have to be a mind reader. You'd have to be able to maybe travel back in time and pause time and just break down punch by punch. I don't know. But Aspinall's the one that submitted that doctor information for all of us because he wants us to have it. Oh, snap. I appreciate your faithfulness, bro. And your long suffering. You think Derek Lewis is going to get that strap? Bro, I admire that. I admire that resilience in you, bro. Let's talk. Regardless of whatever you're yapping about, Tom was comfortable enough to do spin tricks against the best striker in the division, no matter how odd you think it looked. It was, bro, I feel like you're the only person that saw that strike that way. When I saw him do that silly, funny-looking, half-hearted, I give up spinning stuff, it looked like that was his spirit being broken. And then the way he was smiling and laughing after, he knew he was being stupid. He knew that wasn't going to land. That wasn't going to do anything. Even DC was like, what is he doing? I don't like this. This is not good. This is not good. And they're writing him the whole time. The commentators all want Aspinall to win. I can't even believe you brought that up. I think you're trying to Andy Kaufman me right now. I think you're probably a Cyril Gane fan. That's like the worst thing you could have brought up. That made him look terrible. That didn't mean he was comfortable. That's him saying, I give up. I might as well do an axe kick. I'll try what's that one that Tony Ferguson did? I'll do the Rolling Thunder. Or who does that? Gaethje, that crazy cartwheel thing. Are you kidding me? Hold on, I got to I don't know why. You know I'm streaming. What? Why do we play these games? Why do we play these games? Even in his video, he says, I won't go out to fight the best striker with damage. Laughing my abs off. Man, owned himself. He was no match for Gane. So listen. Aspinall said something in his video that he released yesterday. He said something like, you think I'm going to fight like one of the best strikers in the world? You think I'm dumb? He said it like that. You think I'm dumb? And immediately when he said that, I had like deja vu. It came back to me. I remember Israel Adesanya. Do you remember when he was in the post-fight press conference after he fought Yoel Romero? And he was like, you think I'm going to, how did he say it? I'm going to mess some of the words up. But he's like, you think I'm going to jeopardize my bout? You think I'm going to take a risk with my bout? I'm not stupid, dummy. It reminded me of something that we would say in like 4th grade. I'm not stupid, dummy. And as soon as I heard Aspinall say that yesterday, I was like, bro, it's like cookie cutter. It's like the same type of dude. You think I'm going to take risks? You think I'm going to take the hard road? You think I'm going to willingly face any kind of adversity? I'm not a dummy, you stinking butthead. It was like the same kind of energy. The same thing. Honestly, that was my instant thought while he was in the corner. A blessing from God. Cyril is better everywhere on the feet. It's not a surprise he looked decent. Y'all aren't realizing Tom was supposed to be that close in strikes, and to pretend in 25 minutes Tom won't catch him is weird. I mean, but I hear what you're saying, but are you also able to admit that, bro, the moment we start having to talk about a puncher's chance, because that's what you're essentially describing. The moment you have to start talking about a puncher's chance, that's no bueno. That's like saying, yeah, I feel like Davison Figueiredo could, I mean, if he faced John Jones, I mean, he has a puncher's chance. I mean, you don't think in 5 rounds? You don't think in 5 rounds he could catch him? That's the terminology that you're using, bro. To pretend in 25 minutes Tom won't catch him is weird. You're literally making it sound like Tom is clearly the underdog and he has to catch him. That has nothing to do with skill, nothing to do with strategy. That's luck. That's being in the right place at the right time. You're literally saying yourself as a Tomas Aspinall defender that he would have to catch him. That is admitting it right there that, yeah, like if you have this dude that's composed, that is such a good Muay Thai dude, kickboxer, whatever, and he's going to face Aspinall for 5 rounds and he's going to do his thing just like he... Why would Cyril Gane switch it up? It's so weird that everybody is so confidently saying, that was just the first round. You don't think in the second? Well, then what was Tom waiting for? You don't think in the second? Or, well, how about this, bro? How about we go off of what actually happened? Why would Cyril Gane start doing anything different? You think starting round 2, he was going to butt school and try to invite Aspinall into his guard? Aspinall would have kept doing the same thing, would have kept the distance, would have kept sticking and moving, would have kept teeing off on his dome. He would have kept being smart and patient and all put together and not getting emotional like Aspinall was getting. Aspinall was already gassing out. Aspinall was trying to headhunt. He was trying to fight him like if he was Derek Lewis. And everybody, like, it's the biggest blessing to the Aspinall fans to be like, well, you don't know. If we would have had, like, round 8. Oh, if we would have had round 8. They sound like Nick Diaz fans. Well, bro, if there was a round 46, you're lucky there wasn't a round 46, bro. Because that's when Diaz comes to life. How about this? Let's go off of what actually happened. And let's have you not assume that Cyril Gane. Here's what you have to assume to say what you're saying. Cyril Gane would have totally changed his game plan and would have stopped being effective and would have stopped leading. And Gane would have turned something on that he decided not to turn on in the first round. And he would stop bleeding and he would stop gassing out. What? He was going to find his second wind in round 3. He was going to suddenly have energy and stop breathing out his mouth. Like I do. Oh man, I'm way behind. Okay, I mean, I best argument ever, just spamming what if, laughing my abs off. Okay, I see that that's your perspective, but my perspective of your take is, hey, what'd you say is the truth, Aspinall? Okay, got it. That's the truth, guys. I mean, if we're going to be honest, forget that it's Tomas Aspinall. Just say anybody objectively in that situation. Aren't they the most likely to lie about it to try to save face? It doesn't have to necessarily be Aspinall. It could be anybody. Aren't they the most likely to embellish for reputation's sake? Are you kidding me? You think they wanted Cyril to win? Yes, Frank Dukes would have continued fighting, no question. He did continue fighting. Jones is an opportunist. That's why he's a good criminal. Listen, either way Tom stood with him, Jones couldn't. Jones is an opportunist. Jones will not stand and strike with somebody if there's any discomfort whatsoever. If he knows I could just take this dude down and choke him. Especially after Thiago Santos and Reyes, he was on this weird thing in that window of his career where he's like, I'm going to be like the style bender and I'm going to prove something. Nah, not anymore. Not anymore. Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't agree with you, Magic Shark. Oh. Jiri, I literally just repeated what you said about how I forgot. I mean, you could go back and read it. You said something like, you don't think he would have caught him? That's like paraphrasing a puncher's chance. When you use that kind of phrase. I could catch you. I'll catch you. Give me 3 rounds. I'll catch you. You're describing a puncher's chance. I mean, if that's not what you meant, then I'm not going to try to like gaslight you into like believing that's what you meant. Okay, if that's not what you meant, that's not what you meant. But that's what the word said. The word choice was akin to a puncher's chance. To play devil's advocate, we've never seen Tom go that far. You don't think he's capable of adjusting from his coaches in between rounds? I don't think Tom's dad should coach him. I think the situation is a terrible dynamic. Listen, I think that Tom's dad, from the footage I've seen, is a fantastic father. He absolutely seems like he loves and adores his son. It's beautiful. I do not think he should be his coach, though. I think it has made Aspinall soft. I think his dad enables him. I think he's too much in his ear. I think he's made him. I think he's coddled him. I think that Tomas Aspinall's dad in his corner is like when you have one of those relatives that makes you feel like you could sing on American Idol. I do not think things would have went better after he went to his corner. I think his dad would have said something because his dad validates and affirms him too much. His dad doesn't seem like Don Corleone that'll slap him and go, "You connect like a man." He doesn't seem like he would do that. He seems like he would be like, "No, you're good, bro. That blood on your face. It's just because you got such good circulation in your body. Your blood is so healthy, and you're circulating so good that there's some spillover. Like you got some to spare, bro. Your blood, you got generous blood. Your blood was actually trying to come out and share some with Gane. Like you're a good-hearted. Like, nah, get that out of my corner. I need Abdulmanap, bro." His dad has made him soft. I do not think going to his corner would have helped whatsoever. I think his dad hypes him up too much and doesn't give him tough love. He babies him. ARJR721, fine, I'll do it myself. I appreciate that. Oh, snap, that's what you're talking about. Oh, snap, he just gifted 5 more memberships. ARJR's looking for a partner in crime. And he found himself. It's kind of like Fight Club. ARJR, you just found yourself, bro. If we're going on about what happened, 5 minutes and a bloody nose, let me simply take you out on a walk on a hot day and see how your nose feels. What? What? Let me take you out on a walk on a hot day and see how your nose feels? Does that mean that the heat's going to give me a bloody nose, or what are you talking about? I don't know. I mean, I can't argue. I can't argue with like, I don't want to be rude, bro. I don't want to name call, but you know how they say you can't argue with stupid? I'm not saying that about you. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say that. I can't argue with with someone that's just like us going back and forth is only making you more set in your argument. There's no concession here. You're not going to care about any point that I make or anything that I say. But bro, like people keep saying 3 strikes, 3 strikes, 3 strikes. First of all, 3 strikes ends you up in prison for life. So there's that. But yeah, bro. 3 strikes. What if it's the World Cup, right? And someone wins by 1 goal. Well, they won, right? What if it's the NBA Finals and somebody wins by 1 basket at the buzzer? Well, they won, right? And you know what? Isn't it even better? Isn't it even better when they win like that? What if it's a football game and they win by 1 point, 1 field goal at the end? Well, they won, right? What about Vin Diesel? What about the Fast and the Furious? It doesn't matter if you win by 1 inch or a mile. I don't understand the 3 strike things. I don't care if it was 2 strikes. I don't care if it was 1 strike. One of them lost. One of them lost the round, and one of them was bloody. And you know what? This is what the Tomas Aspinall fans have to face. They have to face this. If it was the other way around, and Aspinall was leading by 3 strikes, and Gane was bloody, we would never hear the end of it. We would never hear the end of it. Ever. But people don't think about it like that. ARJR721 with a blessure. With a blessure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is he commuting? He might be sending out blessures as he's still commuting. He might be driving home right now. Bro took 2 months to get proof. I'm telling you, he was traveling all throughout the UK till he finally found a sketchy doctor. He finally found someone that was willing to be on camera to get some press for their practice. Respectfully, Bloodsport isn't like a real martial arts exhibition. I'm sorry, you're blocked. You're blocked. You cannot disrespect Bloodsport in this community. You can't handle the MMA truth. And look, I'm always objective. I'm always honest. I laugh about it. Like when I was watching the Aspinall video yesterday and he was showing that compilation, I have the longest, most definitive compilation ever of Cyril Gane cheats. He's a cheater. I've made the longest, most comprehensive montage of that ever in my Aspinall video that I released like a month ago, whatever it was. I legitimately think somebody is trying to sabotage Cyril Gane, and they trained him like that one dude, Wimp Lo, from Kung Pao. They literally intentionally trained Cyril Gane to fight wrong. The dude, most of his significant strikes are illegal strikes. It's crazy. And like the look on his face, like after he fouls and he's like, what did I do? What? I can't do a French accent. But when the look, he's like, I don't understand. This is how I was trained. He does it so honestly and sincerely. Like, what did I do wrong? Thank you, HG487. Mar loca. I hope you're out of work. No, you're not. Are you out of work now? I don't know. I believe I'm not going to expose. I'm not going to expose. I believe you may be out of work. I'm not sure. But I know that people over here where I mob around, they're doing a bunch of testing right now. I don't know if it's test week where you're working at, but there's a lot of stress right now, lots of studying, lots of testing. So hopefully everything's going good and smooth for you over there. Well, thank you, Nico. I appreciate your take. It's just we've never seen Tom go 25 minutes or if he's even capable of adjusting or changing strats mid-fight, not puncher's chance, but making reads. Too bad he quit. Yeah, so look, I mean, I gave him the only compliment I'm ever going to give him earlier. Even though we don't respect it, even though we laugh about it, even though we make fun of him and blah, 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 blah. We have to admit it might have. It's definitely not the gladiator thing. It's definitely not your favorite fighter kind of thing. It's definitely not the warrior spirit kind of thing. But him quitting, it might have been the smartest thing. And because of that, maybe he's intelligent enough of a dude that he should have thought about applicable adjustments. You would think so. But you also got to wonder how realistic that is, because it's funny that a lot of his fans, and he's saying it himself, and it's so weird. If you watch the video he released yesterday, he says something like, I was ready for a 5-round fight. I was prepared for a 5-round fight. He definitely did not come out in the first round like he was doing a 5-round fight. He was trying to headhunt and knock his head off, and he was gassing. He came out like Conor McGregor in the first round. And then he tried to show a clip of him at the pre-fight press conference talking about it, and it didn't even say the same thing. That was the best he could find. He made a comment like in the video he released yesterday. It was basically saying, I had every intention of it being a 5-round fight, and that's what I prepared for. And then he cut to an old clip, and it didn't say that. It was him just saying, I'm prepared for a hard fight. I know he's a good competitor. He's going to be a hard fighter. Did not say anything about 5 rounds. Did not say anything about how he was going to drag it out and try to extend it as long as he could. No. And then he came in headhunting. So I don't even though he seems like he may lean toward more the intelligent, logical way of thinking when he quit, as opposed to being a brute gladiator warrior. As smart as you are, that's not gonna fix you. That's not gonna give you attributes that you don't have. It's not gonna make you be ungassable for 5 rounds. It's not gonna make you stick and move better as opposed to head hunting. So even though maybe mentally he would have wanted to do something in particular, that's not how he came out. And all we can do from this point on is speculate. But he came out head hunting. Jones fought with a broken toe. I mean, that's how you move around, man. That's how you balance your entire body with your toes. There is no way you don't hear yourself taking a victory from Hal. Who's Hal? There is no way you don't hear yourself taking a victory from a third of a fight. No, see, when I say that, that's simply me combating what Aspinall fans are saying. When I talk about how Gane was winning the fight, that's me pushing back on people immediately saying, oh, well, because you know what's really frustrating? All the Aspinall fans, all they have to work off of is a round where Aspinall was down, right? That's all they have to go off of. Yet they say so wholeheartedly, oh, he would have won the fight. Huh? Yeah, he would have won the fight. He was only 3 strikes down and he had 5 whole rounds. And, you know, he would have caught him. He would have won. Wait a minute. You're so confidently just disrespecting Gane, which, again, who I don't even like or care about. You're going to disrespect the fighter that was actually winning in reality with something that actually did happen historically. You're going to say, oh, but it was only by this much. And I know this other guy would have come back and done better, hypothetically, eventually. Huh? Well, then, okay, let me talk about what actually happened then and push back on that. That's the only reason I bring that up, because I don't particularly care about Gane. I don't care about that dude. 1 or 2 punches is usually enough to win a fight when it comes to a knockout anyway. That's what I'm saying. Look at Israel Adesanya. I mean, look at when look at the people that ride with Adesanya and they'll try to justify his losses, like his ones in kickboxing or against Adesanya, Pereira. They're like, he was leading. He was winning. He outclassed him. He was the better fighter. He was doing this and that. He looked better. He moved better. He just got caught. It's all right. He just got caught. So it just shows you that they'll just defend their dude no matter what. Yeah, Nico, for real. And yes, you would hear the end of it if anything, we wouldn't cause, even if Gane's face was bloody, all clearly would take a victory for him surviving. I mean, maybe a Gane fan, but again, I don't care about Gane. And if his face would have been bloody, then that would have just been more reason for me to talk about how I don't think he's that great either. If Gane was really look, there's levels, right? First of all, let's respect the fact that we're talking about UFC fighters and they're already world class. Okay. Aside from that, considering the fact that we're talking about the top level fighters professionally, with that considered, Gane is not the best of the best. If Gane was, we wouldn't be talking about how he won the round by 3 strikes and bloodied up Aspinall's face and broke his orbital. Gane would have knocked him out or tapped him out like Jones did to Gane. But Gane didn't do that. So I'm not acting like Gane is this invincible dude either. No, I'm not one of those people. I know you probably think Gane won because it makes Jones look better. I don't like Jones either. Like, I feel like I'm the worst person for you to debate this with, because I don't have any dogs in the fight, you know? I don't like Jones, I don't like Gane, I don't like Aspinall. So I have no motives to think, you know, one makes the other look better. Tomas tries tacos for the first time and automatically gets brown-eyed. Round and round it goes. Who gets a gift? Nobody knows. AR, JR, 7, 2, 1. Look it. It's disrespectful that I haven't already done this, and I apologize. This is my fault. It's disrespectful that for the first time, after all this generosity, after all this sharing and caring, I'm barely slapping down the emoji. Unbelievable. Unbelievable is showing up and showing out today. He's an active champion. Thank you, Unbelievable. Thank you for keeping this community rolling and growing. AGM, first time seeing you live. Keep this up. Q. What fight got you into MMA? Cheers. I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked to hear that this is your first time catching me live. That tells me that I need to stream more. Thank you, Jabib. I'm sorry for butchering. Jabib. Go. Thank you, bro. JB. Can I call you JB? What fight got me into MMA? I mean, I had seen fights before I started to really care about it and watch it. I remember I had a cousin that would always try to show me Tito Ortiz fights, and I just couldn't make myself care. And then I had another relative that would try to show me Silva fights, Anderson Silva, and I just didn't care. And you know what I think it was? And it makes me feel sick to say it, because it makes me like the archetype casual. I think it was Diaz versus McGregor 1, because I refused to watch UFC, because I had seen out of my peripherals Conor McGregor's rise and everyone talking about him, and I was like, that dude is an idiot. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. He sounds annoying, and I won't watch it. So I was aware of it. I was aware of UFC. I just always thought it was stupid. And I had this homie that would always show me all this Conor McGregor footage and all his promos. And I was like, this dude sounds like an idiot. I can't stand that dude. Then when I heard that the fight was coming out with Nate Diaz, I was like, I feel something about this fight. And I had a feeling that he was going to lose. And just like now, this was even before I was a grandmaster. I just had the spidey senses, you know. And when everyone in the world seemed to think that McGregor was going to win, I was like, I think he's going to lose this one. And I went to the homie's house and watched the pay-per-view. Oh, snap. That night, that very night, I stayed at the homie's house a little later, and we recorded the first ever video for this channel. That was the first ever video for this channel. When I was there, I was like so... Because everybody thought McGregor was going to win. I was like, in your face. I told you, in your face. And I was like the only one that knew Diaz was going to win. And I was riding high off adrenaline that night. So I was like, let's go shoot it. And then we shot the video that night. That was the first video ever on this channel, the McGregor Diaz breakdown. I forgot about that. That's what got me into it. I got all hyped up. Because before that, I refused, because I was like, it's fake fighting. Water breaks? Referees? You can't even kick dudes in the groin or fish hook them? Chale, that's not real fighting. I was all about talking about fights in the streets, like real stuff. Brock Lesnar, this year we found out Tapturo is undeserved double champ duck, and now Tom will go down as the weakest heavyweight in history, also quit against Blades. Yes, and what a lot of people don't realize, again, I mean, like we see stories about DJ Dillashaw, and he's trying to put his shoulder back into place when he's fighting. We hear about Aljamain Sterling Silver and how he was fighting with a messed up tricep or something like that. John Jones with a broken toe. All these dudes come in. Bisping refuses to tell the doctors he's blind in one eye. Like literally. And then I didn't find this out till a few weeks ago when I was making my video and I was doing research. A lot of people don't know, before Aspinall ever even had that fight where he got injured with Blades, the first fight, before that fight where he got injured, before that, he was contemplating retiring. He didn't even want to fight anymore. He was already not in love with the game anymore. Before that. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Thank you, Brock Lesnar. It's terrible. All these fighters, it's just like all the champions is like, where have they gone? What's going on? They're going to start swapping the championship bouts with championship ankle monitors. We got to keep track of these fools. They're all running amok. Derek Lewis fought when he had to go number 2. That's the worst, bro. That's the worst. You should try to make content with other creators in the MMA community. I'm not against it. I just, I have like crippling anxiety. That's what it is. I'll be honest about it. So I just always like, I don't know. I overthink it. Analysis paralysis, you know. Is the thing not playing? What the heck? Why does it do this? I didn't even notice this deep into the stream. The song's not playing. Tank Abbott, heck yeah. Hey, I should have left 3 minutes ago. I gotta go pick up my child, and I'm already not making good time right now. I should have took off already. Thank you for being here. We streamed for an hour and 42 minutes. So thank you for being here. If you are a member or a patron, I just uploaded a new video talking about the shenanigans with this ICE stuff and Benign Muhammad trying to get some of his loss. Well, you could go watch the video. It's insane. It's insane what's happening right now in the community. But they're keeping it exciting. My boss eye poked me just now. Hey, fool, now you could just go home. Just go home. Tell him I got to go home. Makes no sense for me to be here anymore. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well. It's a weekday. You already know how it goes. Hopefully I could release a new sit down MMA tomorrow. But either way, there's a new video on the membership and on the Patreon right now. Go scope it out. It's for your eyes only. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the debate. Thank you for the jokes. Good looking out. Thank you, Soren. You guys be safe out there. No road rage.